Hey,
Yo, we back.
with
Another
a
episode.
of RNDM Talk.
Yeah, this is just the talk segment. I mean, we working out some shit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, in between the music episodes, it's good to, hear our opinions on other things.
Yeah, I mean, we don't always gotta fucking,
Talk music.
research and listen to albums.
There's more
time and
things
time
going on in
again.
the world.
God damn it.
I mean, I do it all day, but there's more things to talk about in the world. And right now we have like nothing in front of us.
Damn, yeah, we just kind of
Just busted out right off top. We're spitballing.
Yeah, I mean, we was just having like a big debate about like the fucking Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, God, no, don't bring it up. Okay. To anybody out there, Dragon Ball Z. And it was a few years ago that they had a feature film. As feature as it can be.
Yeah, it was a feature film.
I think it was
a
in
movie with a
theaters.
budget.
Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah, I mean,
This is a joke film. It's one of those type of things where you watch it and it's more of like the laugh factor as opposed to being like a good badass action movie or anything like that.
and I don't know. I think if you're a real fan of Dragon Ball, I'm not. So I can't relate to being all excited for the live.
But you can
action
understand the
release.
concept that this should be like a kick-ass type of movie. And knowing what Dragon Ball Z, knowing what that is, it makes it pretty hard or far-fetched for me to believe that you can get live characters, live action people to get in there and make it look good for at least the budget where they did it.
I mean, and I don't disagree, but I think, I do. I do disagree, but I get what you're saying. Like, I feel like I've said this time and time again. If it's done right with fucking $2, you know what I'm saying, you can do it and it'll be compelling. And
Well,
it'll
that's
be,
saying that under perfect circumstances, anything could be successful. And yeah, that's true. But what are the odds that you're ever going to reach those perfect circumstances for... Okay, what was the last great live adaptation to anything?
I can't name it. I mean,
There are some out there, but just
I
off
mean,
the
I
top
guess
of
the
your head.
Marvel, anything from Marvel.
I mean, okay, yeah. Aside from the whole Disney big budget, well written movies that come out every year, because I mean, you can look at the other side of the island, look at DC.
If you want to talk about Dark Knight, The Dark Knight.
Well, those weren't great adaptations, were they?
No, The Dark Knight was
okay.
amazing.
Yeah, that one was. I believe that was the whole Heath Ledger,
Yeah.
Christian Bale.
Yeah, I just rewatched that a couple days ago. It was it's crazy, man.
Okay, but that was about what, 12 years ago, maybe?
That not that long. It's maybe like just getting up to 10, probably like 9 or 8 years ago.
Really?
I would imagine so. Not 12.
Well, okay. There's a lot of not so great adaptations to things like cartoons, to things like comic books, video games, things that
Too many for you to feel comfortable with Dragon Ball,
right. So the initial conversation,
and that's what I get. Like
the initial conversation off air started out about the Mortal Kombat movies, the two Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which I had on VHS as a kid. I used to watch this. And, okay, coming from it from that standpoint, I believe when I was a kid and it was like the late 90s, early 2000s, watching that was pretty cool for me because it was Mortal Kombat but in movie form.
And I automatically, I guess I'm not in that context. I probably saw it maybe a few years back. I automatically had this very cringy, it's so bad it's good.
And that's because
type
it's
reaction.
a little bit of a generational gap there to where you have seen better and then you look at this thing that didn't age very well and say, what the fuck?
You really was at home. Well, I guess you was a child. I don't know.
As a child, I mean,
grown ass person.
No, I wasn't grown.
I know, but I think what's cheesy
like 8,
is
9.
I think what's cheesy is cheesy. I guess if you a kid, you can't tell. But nigga, if I was 18 back in fucking 1990, I would have.
Maybe if you were an adult, maybe it didn't look good for the time either. But I mean, there are people out there with the nostalgic whatever towards it. Even if it's what it mainly is today, it's more funny than it is a cool ass Mortal Kombat film. It's more funny to just watch and riff at. Dragon Ball Z will fall more along the lines of that in trying to incorporate real people into that whole fantasy world than it would be to where the Marvel side is. Big budget, Disney type of shit. That was my whole point. I mean, I don't know if we laid the argument out, what the argument was out.
I think Tony's point was more, I'm not sure, he had a real central point, but I think his
it was
point,
from the view of a fanboy.
It was from a fanboy type of view. But I also can say your view is from that of somebody who is not, you know, familiar with anime and likes it a lot. I'm
familiar enough to say,
and actually,
to make the point,
he's not a fanboy. I think he's just a real fan.
He was fanboying out. He was bringing up in regards to whether a movie get made, the powers of the people. It's like, dude, all this shit is fake. Everybody is as good as the writer is willing to make them.
Yeah, I mean,
so what the fuck are we talking about here? That Goku is more powerful than the insert superhero here.
You know that he can kind of go off the rails a bit, but at the same time, I feel like when he was making points about the overall point is, in my opinion, is that anything, if you got the right writers, if you got the right people who know what the fuck this is, and you got the right actors, you know what I'm saying? Of course, a movie, there's a lot of moving parts. So, you know what I'm saying? It maybe is unlikely. I believe it is unlikely
that it would ever, hold on, and let's lay it out. My whole point was, because he said, why can't you do these things with live action people? I said that in order to make a live action Dragon Ball movie, which they just tried to do and failed, they would need like the budget that Disney's throwing at any of these Marvel movies or a Star Wars movie or something like that to even make it look decent, because otherwise it can come off easily as cheesy.
And that was one thing I really didn't fuck with that you said. You said that the Dragon Ball producers or whoever the fuck will make that type of decision can't get their hands on that type of money.
No.
I think
because they're not as big of a property, and I think that's just common knowledge that Dragon Ball Z in America or Dragon Ball is not as hot of a property.
Of course,
as
they won't
Marvel
get hundreds of millions
superheroes.
of dollars to make the Dragon Ball Z movie unless, you know, they get lucky.
400 million was the Infinity.
I think they can get. I think they can get enough to make a decent movie that caters to the fans. But also, you know, it's just a good standalone piece of
I don't believe
cinema.
That any studio would think that they would get that return on investment, that they would make such a great Dragon Ball Z movie in live action, that they would make whatever money they put into it back. So it wouldn't happen.
That's why you don't put, you know what I'm saying,
looking at that Dragon Ball Evolution,
money into
it looked bad. It comes off easily as dorky and cheesy because when you think of Dragon Ball Z, it's a lot of fast moving, slamming into each other energy balls and shit.
It's a lot of dramatic.
It's hardly any. There's little martial arts or whatever it should be there. They have gis on. Nigga, they look the part.
Don't hate on Goku gis.
But there's little martial arts going on and more just like visceral body slamming and like what could be, if you don't have a huge budget with live action people, dorky Harry Potter and Voldemort sparring.
I say even with whatever budget Dragon Ball Evolution had with the white nigga and the Voldemort looking villain, but that was Piccolo. The nigga looked like Voldemort.
And when I was watching it, it seemed like I was watching like a amateur play, like a Dragon Ball the play.
Even with that budget, I think it's possible that they could pull it off. I think if you get a good director, good actors.
Yes, if everything goes well, but I mean, things just don't go well.
All hope. You seem to just
that there will ever be a great live action Dragon Ball Z movie.
Yeah, actually, you know
what the fuck is what are we arguing?
Hey man, you gotta have a conflicting opinion.
Get the hell out.
I'm trying to you know bring this book up from the mud. I get what you're saying, but I also think
another point that I don't think we laid out here that I was making is that if you made a Mortal Kombat movie, I said that I feel like they are making movies in the video game, and okay, video games are too interactive, I guess, to be movies, but I don't know what your stance on that was. I don't think if it's interactive, it's a movie. If it's interactive, it's not. It's like a fucking. That's some. I don't think. Well,
so.
They're putting enough.
I mean, maybe if we get enough into the future where films get experimental enough, maybe so. But in my eyes, that seems more to be. I don't know. I guess it's a movie if if it functions like
people
a movie,
sit and
and
watch
less like
these
a
things
game.
on YouTube as like it's a movie. A lot of people sit and watch video game story modes,
And that feels more
than
like
they
a
do
game
movies.
to me rather than a movie. Interaction.
But if you're just watching that, is that a movie or not?
I feel like if
Especially if the writing's there, if
I'm
the acting's
open-minded
there.
enough to say if you spending more time watching than playing, it's probably a movie, an interactive movie.
Well,
if you spend more time playing, interacting, it's a game.
I feel like the effort that's being put into the stories and the writing and the voice acting and all that is on par to what you would put into a movie. So I feel like they're making Mortal Kombat movies. If you look at 9 and 10 or whatever, 11's coming out. I said if they made a Mortal Kombat movie, I would rather watch the vision of like whatever they have with the 3D models and the CGI more than I want to see live action, Johnny Cage and Liu Kang and live action Scorpion and Sub-Zero, which never really looked the part to me. When you look back to the old movies, they're cool and everything, but they're always skinny dudes.
Certain types of stories
ninja
lend
outfits.
themselves to animation.
Yes.
Animation.
Dragon Ball Z more than Mortal Kombat. Because when you have live action dudes slamming into each other and, and screaming, it looks goofy.
I can give you that.
It looks goofy.
Especially in midair and shit.
It looks very goofy. It has
green screens and shit.
It's a very thin line, and it has a high chance of looking dorky, which is what I felt like if you go back and watch Dragon Ball Evolution, the fight between Piccolo and Goku looked dorky as shit.
It was bad.
It was very
bad. I don't think dorky is one term. I think it was just not put together very well.
It looked like cosplay. It looked like her.
Yeah, it looked like a couple niggas who like go to amateur film school, but also are in
not dorky
anime.
and derogatory to what it is of the culture. Because I love nerdy shit. I partake in all of nerdy shit. I know Dragon Ball Z. I watched it back in the day. But live action, oh my god, I don't think you could say, well, the Marvel movies did so well. That Dragon Ball Z, the Slam Fest, the energy ball blasting nonstop. I don't think it translates very well to having real guys. You don't have brolic enough Asians out there.
There's some very, very muscular Asian men who will whoop the fuck out of you, nigga. Your 150 ass, nigga, they'll fold you the fuck up.
I didn't say that word, but can they act?
Hey, man, I don't know. I've seen some very good Asian films, so maybe if you brolic and Asian, you can rap or act.
I mean, rap too. For an American release, we gotta make them white though, like we did in Evolution.
I think that's dumb as shit.
Oh, white guy Goku.
That's dumb as shit. I don't know. I mean, I guess it don't really matter. I guess it don't. Really...
Hold on, does it? Because I mean, people freak out when
Goku's race like specified at all? He's a
Saiyan.
You know what I'm saying?
But I don't know. You assume that he's Asian
because the cartoon is from an Asian place.
Well, they speak Japanese.
Yeah. So I would have. That's my assumption as well. But then again, he is a cartoon character who is not even supposed to be human. You get what I'm saying? So
is Superman white? He's Kryptonian.
He's obviously white.
What makes you? I mean,
if
you're an alien.
On the
he's
outside
from another
appearance,
planet.
yeah. On the outside appearance, he's obviously white.
He's an alien.
But yeah, he's alien.
He's not even human.
The same.
He's not even a human being.
Yeah, the same thing.
How can he be white?
Yeah. How can he just appears white? And but what does Goku appear?
Asian.
When he's speaking English, he's appears.
I don't know what he appears as. I mean, I don't think. It's a lot of the main characters of Dragon Ball Z don't look.
There are a lot of what I believe to be Japanese
fucking Tien has
symbols
3 eyes. I mean, what the fuck? Is he human? Like,
probably not. I think yeah. It don't really matter. You could get a light skinned person to play Goku.
A light skin black guy?
No, a light skinned person. A person with light skin. No matter the race.
But Goku, I mean, I guess if you fell out of the sky and you look like a white dude, you could be adopted by Asians and they can name you Goku.
Yeah.
I suppose. But I feel like it's raising more questions than it's answering this whole thing. I don't know.
I think it's less complicated than we're making it to be.
I mean, if it was, I feel like they would have made some great live action Dragon Balls in the 30, 40 years it's been a thing. If it was like simple. I don't think it is. I don't think it translates well. I have more faith that a Mortal Kombat movie could translate well, but I really don't want to see it with live people.
No, I would much rather see an animated Mortal Kombat movie.
What's wrong with animated movies, guys?
What? No, the problem with animated movies is that, like, you know, I love animated movies. I was just telling you about the Batman shit. I watch all the new DC animated movies every year because they fucking killing it since like 2012. If y'all don't know about the DC animated universe, this shit is hot. If you like Batman, you like superheroes and shit. They got a bunch of, it's so much.
And in case you guys haven't heard the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's killing shit out here. It's got it on lockdown.
But Marvel not really doing their thing with the animated. I mean, they doing their thing on the kid shit, but that's the problem. It's kid shit. DC is making, you know, shit for, you know, people, for adults.
We got to serve that Disney Channel base, dude. We got
you got to serve the kids. I know kids want to see their Spider-Man shows, but I don't want to watch this nigga.
That's no way to talk about Miles Morales. Stop it.
I'm talking about Peter. I wasn't even thinking about Miles, but fuck him too. I mean, there's no. I don't want to see you solve middle school, high school problems, nigga. I want to see you save the world and damn near die.
You haven't kept up much with the new Marvel stuff, have you?
Yeah, I have. I've seen.
What was going on with like the super diversity angle they were taking with like Asian Hulk and like Black Iron Woman, Iron Girl?
Oh, you mean like the comics?
It was like Woman Thor.
Yeah, I was back when they was introducing what was the reboot called? Marvel.
It was like multiple reboots in succession of each other. Marvel Now, Marvel.
Yeah, Marvel 50, Now was after.
It Marvel 50?
No, that was DC. That was the DC New 52.
Marvel Now and then Marvel Next or something.
The latest, that one reboot in like 2012 when DC did the New 52. I was kind of heavy into that because I was I said 2012. That was maybe later in like 2014 where I got into it, or maybe even 15, 16, because I was really into comics in high school, and I was, you know, diving in, and you was not feeling that shit. Like, I was trying to show you, and you was like, every time I was trying to show you, like,
see, the thing with comics,
this new series is tight.
I don't have time to
you would just be like, of course you don't got time to do it, but nigga, you would shit on it a little bit.
To sit and read e-comics, like, it's cool, and I would want to. If I had time, I would. But I wouldn't have time to sit and read, like, 16 pages of an e-comic of, like, whatever the fuck, X Factor. Like, what?
You don't got time to read 16 pages. That's what you said? 16 pages.
No time.
Or you just don't want to.
If I had money, I would go out and just get the graphic novels, because I like letting them stack up, become a graphic novel, and then I can just read the story from front to back.
Yeah, I would much rather get an omnibus, but
graphic novels are like 30, 40, 50 bucks a fucking pop. So.
I'd rather just get the, you know, the story arc than a single fucking.
Yeah, I want the story arc.
But you just recently came upon a very vintage, very, I would imagine, rare.
Oh yeah,
comic collection.
So I had a customer, because customers love me.
You work in a gas station.
Oh wow, okay, I'm getting super specific.
You ain't, I mean, nigga, what the fuck? You got a customer. I mean, what does that mean? In my case, that would mean I'm recording somebody. In somebody else's case, that would mean something else.
In case anybody wants to know, CJ's social security number. 32. No. Anyways, I had a customer. The customers like me so much that he's like older guy. He was like, I'm cleaning out the house, garage, or whatever, and he had old comics, and I think I wear enough comic book t-shirts, you know, just like default t-shirt to throw on, that people, you know, say, oh, he likes
you rocking
superheroes.
Something pretty colorful today.
This is a Marvel versus Capcom. This is a crazy shirt that I came across on Twitter, but whatever. He gave me his comic collection, which was just a few things. I mean, he had was that Secret Wars? It was something like that too.
It was not the official Secret Wars. It was like the secret.
It was the second one.
It was like, yeah,
right. It was the second one. It wasn't the one with you know, the symbiote and all that kind of stuff. It was like the one after. It was the Secret Wars. I think we have a few. I remember I didn't go through this all the way. I kind of brought them over, let you see them, take them home, and I put them in a safe area. But I remember seeing there was some comics with Doctor Strange on them, Silver Surfer. Then I don't know. There's
Did
probably
you read any of them?
No, I'm keeping them in plastic. I don't need.
You don't read them?
No, I don't want to fuck them up. But
I would want to read
there's probably a huge fan base that'll be like, fuck you. But every now and then you get these off-brand Turok comics and shit from the N64 game, the dinosaur hunting, and it's like, why all these Turok comics and why were people purchasing all these Turok?
Is a Marvel character?
I don't know. Turok, from my knowledge, is an N64 character.
Oh, I mean, it's different, nigga. You just want your Marvel comics or your DC comics,
dude. So many people, when they have these collections, have like fucking Turok, and I'm like, Turok? Why Turok? That's like having, I don't know, maybe I'm just stupid. That's like, to me, having like a bunch of Donkey Kong comics, like, and I'm like, why do I keep getting Donkey Kong comics? Like, they keep giving me Turok. I knew Turok from Turok 64, and it was like the dinosaur equivalent to some GoldenEye or something. Like, enough. I feel like they're cheap. Because the Turok.
Yeah, you really hating on Turok right now, and I think
I didn't even like the games. I didn't even like the games of Turok, so
whatever.
I don't want the comics.
I'm cutting. Okay. Don't. You know when this stops. Yeah, what was we just talking about?
So when we were just going over how we are not qualified to talk about any news topics, or we don't feel like we're qualified, but fuck that. I feel like I'm qualified to talk about whatever. Like I'll be wrong, maybe,
as
but
a 19-year-old,
probably not.
I just feel like I don't really know enough about politics. I haven't seen enough. I haven't been politically aware enough for a long enough time to really give a opinion that means anything other than, oh, I don't like this. And even though that means something to a certain degree, but it's just, I just don't want to be so mundane and just have nothing really more to say than surface level analysis.
Yeah, I mean, every now and then when something really interesting is going on, I've kept up with politics. It is fucking draining though. Like when you do not get involved, but get in the mix of knowing what's going on from day to day.
Like a lot of people who do know, like they the type of niggas who wake up CNN, go to bed CNN, wake up Fox News.
I check news sites a few times a day, and
I don't.
You're bound to figure out what's going on with stuff about Reddit, or when you're on Twitter or something like that. You're bound to hear things, and I feel like not a lot of people are political experts or whatever. People just spout off talking points that they read something.
Like, nigga, shut the fuck up. You sound like you know as much as I do, and you're not really saying nothing. Like, I mean, not shut the fuck up. Your opinion is valid, even if it's only surface level, but I just don't care. I don't care about what you have to say, especially if we supposed to be, entertaining. Like, I get if you just, oh, I don't like this, then that's fine, but
I feel like a lot of it's talking points that you got from somewhere else or some groups. Of
course you might get a talking point from somewhere else, but at least you've done a little bit of research and have been a little bit in the mix about whatever the fuck is happening in Venezuela, because they in the headlines a million times.
Right. Well, I don't know. What I do know is, like, when you look around, especially Twitter or any of these social media sites, YouTube, and you see certain groups, far left, far right, those type of groups, it's always pretty hilarious to me when I see them. I was just going down YouTube, and I'm subscribed to them, but the level of clickbaitiness, the just don't give a fuck clickbait titles of the Young Turks is always hilarious to me. It gets to the point where I like to just scroll down just to kind of cringe laugh at
I don't have a problem with clickbait so much. I mean, that's kind of a form of internet marketing. Rather you see it as
clickbait, and I think a lot of the.
Of course, if it's false, then that's one thing. But if one title over another title is more compelling to an audience, then I think you should maybe choose a more compelling title because you author trying to get your shit out there or whatever the fuck you are.
They have changed titles of their videos multiple times.
Nigga, I'm most definitely gonna
because they clickbaited the shit out of the
title.
first one. No, they clickbaited the shit out of the first one, and then they go back and kind of walk it back like nobody noticed. Like that's how you know
they can go a bit far.
Are aware that they're clickbaiting. They will put like a picture of like National Enquirer level pictures of like politicians doing like this movement, be like they are pledging to the Nazi allegiance to Baphomet. Like
the Baphomet. Oh my god. I one thing that when you talked about the people who just are super far left, far right, just are fucking blinded, just live in a world of politics, and you know what I'm saying,
of being on their side and arguing down everybody else.
Yeah, being on whatever the fuck. Yeah, like I'm subscribed to the Donald subreddit, and I'm not a huge fan of Donald Trump, even though, like I said previously, I'm not very. You know what I'm saying? I'm not super politically involved. You know, I see it every day, especially the election, which was fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? I saw all this shit go down. But I'm not like a nigga who really be digging into this shit. But when I see some of this shit on the subreddit, it's just a huge fucking circle jerk of, oh, the fucking Democrats are so dumb and Donald Trump is so smart and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, who really sits down and types out posting the Donald that get those thousands of upvotes that, you know what I'm saying, make it to the top of my fucking feed, and I'm just like,
I love seeing
what is this dumb
stuff like that
shit.
I on Twitter, like I follow Rosie O'Donnell. She's like one of the many pages you can go to for like some anti-Trump cringe too. Like I'm all for the look how stupid Trump is talk, and I'm all for the cringe of like when people are just so passionate about it to where it just gets like, I'm laughing at you now for being like,
people are just engrossed, just live their lives as a Republican, as a fucking.
There was a point in time on Twitter.
Agent of change.
There was a point in time on Twitter where like super liberal celebrities, Rosie O'Donnell, who is LGBT herself, was making like jokes of like Trump and Putin are gay, like just.
And see, that's why I feel like, man, I want her to say that because I don't know,
like they just hate they hate Trump so much that the passion is hilarious to me. Like I'm like, yes,
dog. When I saw people
super
literally
passionate.
crying or in a literally shaking thing, back when Donald Trump won, and everybody was like literally shaking was like something like trending on Twitter, like literally shaking.
Have you ever seen the video? It was the Young Turks on election night where they went from like super smug and being like, yeah, we're gonna win it, fuck Trump, to when the numbers were coming in to like super deflate, to like angry and lashing out,
dumb as a bitch.
Angry and lashing out and being like, I can't believe this and all this stuff.
You did this.
And they went through like the stages of like death when grieving and all that kind of stuff,
and then they just accepted it.
Like
after a few months,
we should check that one out because that is a pretty good video. But it's just funny seeing those very just clickbaity. You don't know how many times since Trump's actually been president that I've seen just titles of like, this could be the end, Trump could be impeached. Like, whoa. It never happens. So, I don't know. It goes to show you. You just got to watch where you're taking. And the Young Turks may have some useful knowledge and good takes at some points. But, you know, even a lot of liberal outlets can get just as bad as right-wing outlets are on the regular basis. Yeah,
and it's kind of, and a lot of the times I think it's kind of weird because sometimes I would agree with like the majority of what you're saying, but you're just being so extreme or being so fucking weird about it that I just don't even want to associate with you, like. And I almost want to tell you you're wrong just because of how you approaching the situation.
Yeah. I mean, and you can see that on both sides. What I did get annoyed about earlier, which I don't think I told you in between.
Hey, are you hearing these clicks in my mic? Like, or is it my headphones? You're not hearing this, right? Like it's going out sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Punch. Yo.
So
technical difficulties.
Yeah. Okay.
Mic switch.
We're here. But one thing that kind of annoys me on Twitter is when some people come out with these whole like the tolerant left is supposed to be tolerant, but they're not being tolerant to this opinion. It's like, what the fuck? Okay, first off, what do you think tolerance means? Do you think because I am criticizing something and saying I don't like it,
acceptance of your bullshit point of view?
If I'm not accepting it, I'm not tolerating it.
Yeah.
I don't know where this logic is. For some
it's
reason,
just like when you in an argument and people be like, "But you're not listening." And it's like, no, I just don't agree. I'm listening, but you sound wrong.
Now, if the ideals of the left are supposed to be not to be saying like derogatory words based on sex and race and all that kind of stuff, then I would uphold you to that. Be like, oh, are you really for the liberal democratic platform if you hate gays?
Yeah, and don't hit me with that, oh, you're not really this. Like that no true Scotsman shit. Like, don't, you know the fallacy.
Well, I guess you could like dislike gay people and still be socially liberal or whatever.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, just because, like don't hit me with that shit. Just don't paint a monolith. You know what I'm saying? Of course, certain ideals, and you're right to assume sometime if you identify as a certain political leaning, you probably do have certain views because that's what makes that political leaning. But a lot of people, I think, are more in the middle than we would like to admit. Like, most people on the political spectrum fall pretty, you know what I'm saying, moderate. But I just think when you present it with an idea that kind of sounds incorrect, and then it starts to like maybe, or that come at your values, come at, you know what I'm saying, things that a lot of times people confuse with ourselves, like our ideas or our religion or our this or our that, like, or especially race nowadays. I guess that's American history, right? But like I just think that people just don't really we argue about shit that aren't necessarily the key issues, and we agree on a lot more than people would like to admit. Like, if you would call yourself somebody who leans left, I would imagine that you have a few right views. I mean, same on the right. It's way more. It's way more in the middle. Okay,
but when you like playing these identity politics, this is what like each brand kind of.
But that's where tribalism come in. Like, we're the red team. We're the blue team.
And some people are cool with playing that game because a lot of people do. A lot of people fall right into it.
And that's what the Donald is, bro. It's just like a huge circle jerk of, Donald Trump is never wrong and liberalism is a disease. When it's just like, oh my God, how can you really just...
And it's the same thing on the other side.
You're going to just put your head in a fucking fishbowl and just...
And it's the same thing on the other side in the whole Donald Trump is the worst.
Donald Trump is Hitler. Oh my God, if I hear that again, I'm smacking the shit out of somebody.
Right. So, but I mean, this whole, the tolerant left not being so tolerant, like if I don't accept your bullshit opinion and I'm like, F your opinion, because nobody's really on Twitter or over the internet really doing physical harm to you when they're criticizing and trolling and talking shit.
Yeah, we value internet comments way too much nowadays. Like the word cyberbullying is a fucking, like, come on, bro. Like, have we gotten to the point? Like, of course people should be able to live their lives without, being harassed. It's a certain point where it is bullying and it does need to stop. But I hate when people are just like, I got so much hate on the internet. Like, what the fuck? You got so much hate on the internet the other day?
Yeah, okay. I think when that kind of stuff happens,
I can't relate to having that feeling of seeing negative comments about me on the internet, and then
because I feel like it's when some people are wrapped up into when going on a platform is wrapped up into your everyday life, or Twitter or Facebook or Instagram is more of an essential part because you do it so much that it becomes like a part of your everyday life, and then something like embarrassing or whatever bad where you get negative energy from that platform, you can't help but go on it and look at your mentions and all that and really give a fuck because this is what you were doing every day for years.
I guess people, like I said about like, you know, religion and race and blah blah blah, people confuse things that they identify with as themselves, and I guess people see their social media platforms as an extension of themselves.
Well, of course. that
don't make no fucking sense. Like, what type of, like, how hard do you want to make life? Like, really? Like, I was just thinking about this the other day. I think a lot of the time, and I was thinking about my mother in particular, our mother.
Okay.
A lot of the time, we make life a lot harder in our heads than it actually is in the world, in real life. Like, nigga, go do your shit, get it done. You able-bodied, be lucky that it ain't worse, and just move on. Like, of course, it's not that simple. Maybe I doubt. What's the word I'm looking for? Maybe I was a little bit too reductive in that sentence just now. But at the same time, I don't know. That's how I view life, and shit is cool. Not to say that I don't get stressed. Not to say that I don't face problems where, you know, I'm worried about, you know, my career path, trying to do this audio engineering bullshit, or, you know what I'm saying, just going to school, period. Like, paying all this fucking, well, I ain't paying too much money, but I'm paying a couple dollars to go to school, and you know what I'm saying, I'm investing into a career that is, let's be honest, unlikely, at least what I'm imagining. Of course I could find something to do as an audio engineer, but being a studio engineer, I gotta say, it is unlikely. Like, especially coming from Milwaukee, you know what I'm saying,
you can do anything you put your mind.
I think I can do it. I think I got a plan in mind. I don't want to and I'm not the type of nigga that just want to do audio. You know what I'm saying? I want to do video. We doing a podcast right now. Hey guys, this is, you know, I'll put this shit together, nigga. He a Mike, nigga. He just the performer, nigga. I made this happen. I'ma upload it. I'ma edit it. Let's talk about that. No. But had to just get my shit off.
There you go.
No, but
gotta let you have it.
What was I about to say?
This is all.
What was I saying?
I gave you the computer.
Oh yeah,
and the mic.
Yeah, I am using.
And those my headphones.
His computer.
Those headphones you wearing.
You wearing my headphones, nigga. I can get a different pair of headphones, nigga. Fuck out of here.
I mean, I started you. I don't know. I boosted you up over here.
Nigga, that silky smooth mic you on, nigga. Sitting comfortably far away, nigga.
No, you bought that.
I'm worried about mic technique over here, nigga. You sitting at a comfortable distance. That's the result of blood, sweat, and tears put over the boards, nigga. That mic.
Well, I went to work for a couple of days and I bought you that mic. Now it seems like it's a solid hand over there.
It's nice. I like the 58. I've moved on from using it as my vocal mic. I'm more gonna use it on this bass and this guitar over here whenever I get a chance to actually like figure some shit out and actually, you know what I'm saying, I've been recording a lot of DI bass because it's just a lot easier and I can model it afterwards. Maybe y'all don't know what I'm talking about at this point. Maybe we should get back to what we was previously saying.
Well, I mean, and I appreciate you for editing here.
Yeah, nigga, appreciate
and uploading to a bunch of free sites.
Yeah, nigga. With a bunch of gear that I paid for, nigga. Don't fuck with me.
It's in the long run, in the end game, I believe that the website I designed will be better to post things on than all the free sites. But that's neither here nor there.
Maybe you got the website shit. I ain't gonna front, but the website was kind of, you had to do that for some other shit, nigga.
I had to do it for class. I had to do it for class, but hey, I designed a solid website. You just gotta add content to it. So there we are. Are we done?
Hey, you just hit us with the done tone. So I think we done
for this week. I mean, do we have something else?
I don't think so.
Do we have something else going?
I can check. What the fuck?
If you can find one more thing, let's throw one more thing in there.
Yeah, let's throw one more thing. Let's go top on Reddit in my shit.
Top on Reddit. This is pre-production.
Yeah.
In case everybody didn't know. Next time we're doing the music talk, we'll be talking about Russian Roulette,
The Alchemist. We've been listening to that album for the past few weeks. I mean, of course, I think we both listened to it pretty extensively.
When it originally dropped, that was years ago.
Yeah, pretty extensively. When I didn't listen
all
to it when
samples
it
are
dropped.
from Russian
TV shows.
TV shows, yeah.
I don't think I listened to it when it originally dropped, but yeah, fuck it. We could talk about The Alchemist. I don't think I listened to it when it originally dropped, but a couple years later, I was, there's so many artists on there, and The Alchemist, you know what I'm saying? I started to revere him as the true god producer that he is. I mean, he's a super producer.
He is up there.
I mean, but I got into it a few years back, and I've listened to it extensively, and I was kind of surprised when you said you wanted to review it because I thought we was doing new stuff. But I think a lot of people maybe don't appreciate that album as much as they could, and there's so many artists on there that so many different people, and they probably don't even know about it because it's under the name The Alchemist. You know what I'm saying? Rather than
it's super feature heavy.
Yeah, rather than whoever is their favorite rapper.
Big names. I mean, we got Danny Brown. Action Bronson.
From there it get, I think, more obscure.
Yeah, Mayhem Lauren.
Was
Guilty Simpson in there somewhere.
Guilty Simpson had a cold ass.
It was Rock Marciano on that one.
Rock Marcy had a cold ass verse.
So it's like a whole slew of that New York
didn't
underground.
Drop a verse himself on the whole thing, did he?
I don't believe so.
I'm a fan of The Alchemist rapping. And that's what I really wanted to. You know what I'm saying? You don't really seem to care about his rapping that much.
Yeah, not too notable to me. I mean, I think
he nice for a nigga who, you know what I'm saying, I didn't even know could spit like that. You know what I'm saying? He got 3 albums with Oh No, the gang under the name Gangrene. I've been telling you about this shit for like maybe a year, or maybe I'm exaggerating on that amount of time, a couple months, and I haven't checked them. You haven't checked it out, and the shit is so hot. It's 3 albums of just, The Alchemist that you know and love, but he fucking rapping. He rapping his ass off. He got some crazy ass features. All the niggas that we just named are probably falling into a spot somewhere in those 3 albums. I know Bronson got a feature probably on every one of them.
Why is he not rapping so long?
I mean, I think he's just more in demand as a producer. And the Gangrene shit, I feel like that was more of a passion project with just him. Not a passion project, but just more of a just one, not one off because they did 3 fucking albums, but just more of a collaboration with a friend. Oh no,
we need more of that Mad Lib rapping.
Yeah, we need. I haven't really gone through Mad Lib's discography, so I don't want to say I really need more. I really need to get up on his shit because the only projects I know about him are Quasimodo shit. What was the one, the Unseen by Quasimodo.
Did he have a thing with Dilla?
Oh yeah, and Champion Sound. You didn't like that so much.
No.
Yeah, and you said they couldn't rap enough, and I see that. But the beats were hard.
I mean, I usually like Mad Lib. I don't know if I was into Dilla. I was like, I just take the beats.
Dilla, have you ever listened to a solo project of his?
I've listened to bits and pieces of all his. He has a million bajillion tapes out there. So when you dive in, it's kind of hard to figure out where to start and go.
I always just go to the first one. I listen to, what is that?
It's a million compilations. It's a million beat tapes.
I listen to Donuts, of course, because it just got such a infamous, or not infamous.
I listened to that one too. And that one was good.
I listened to it was the first joint. It was it had this one. Oh my god,
Lightworks were on there. That was good.
It had this one song with fucking L's High. He just went crazy. It was called What You Want or some shit. That shit. And then when I heard it, because his name wasn't on the feature list, like it wasn't like featuring L's High. When I heard him come in, I'm like, oh shit, L's High. He got a higher pitched voice. The production is worse. I'm like, damn, L's High been spitting shit since like 2000. I mean, since like 90 something. Like that really surprised me. But he never fails to impress.
Yeah, so I mean,
and the Alchemist, yeah, but back to the Gangrene shit, and he got the Durag Dynasty shit with Planet Asia, Tri-State, and what's that nigga name? There's Planet Asia, Tri-State, and somebody else. I'm sorry, third guy. That's
I don't know. I do know that we have.
You the only nigga that's not about to get mentioned because I'm not about to look you up. That's whack, bro.
We do have a Spotify playlist now.
Oh yeah.
Now, I don't know where this is gonna go. If I have to mix, if we're just mixing in stuff we listen to, like
throw a song in there, throw a couple songs in there, whatever.
I got a million things I could be like, I'll throw in there, but that I guess that's where we should start. If you want me to hear some of this shit.
Yeah, I mean the gangrene shit. I can't stress enough how good it is.
I got shit on there too though.
That fireworks.
You got to listen to the DOA.
Oh, you added shit? I didn't know you added shit.
I put like 2 or 3 songs so far. I got DOA on there. The Prisoner.
Okay.
Some good 80s.
Yeah, we got to do some punk
Canadian.
Reviews. We got to do some punk reviews in the future.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I got a long list that we can go down.
We seem to be leaning pretty much towards hip hop only. I mean, that's probably my fault more.
I think it is.
You can make heavier suggestions, nigga. Well, I guess the last week when you spent the wheel, that's just what happened. So
that's just what happened. So it is what it is. But Russian Roulette,
nigga, go check out the Alchemist's first project with that. I think that's his only hit on there. Oh
yeah. Okay.
That's not the delivery at all. I'm sorry, Al. I'm sorry, Al.
Currency had a Young Money.
Oh yeah, and the Alchemist got a new project out with Currency and Freddie Gibbs.
Oh, okay.
The Alchemist is such a prolific, bro. We should just dedicate the whole second official episode to the Alchemist because he's just such a prolific nigga. He the nigga. I was just going on a rant about James Blake right before we start recording, and I just when the artist has such an extensive discography, niggas like LP, such an extensive discography that is so good, so consistently in so many different ways, just in the engineering and the production choices and lyrics. Of course, it's certain niggas just are masters of a fucking craft and people just, I don't know, bro. We gotta
underrated.
We gotta dedicate for real. We gotta dedicate.
We're talking about Timbaland and Swizz Beatz.
We gotta dedicate episodes to artists who are just. I
don't know. Swizz Beatz got some nice ones.
On a certain tier, even if, certain people might say, James Blake isn't a classic artist yet, or Kendrick isn't a classic artist yet. Even though I think both of those are
do
false.
Classic album review.
I think we should do a classic artist review, nigga. I think we should go.
This is a classic artist.
I think we should talk about an artist, like really dig into an artist and you know what I'm saying, like niggas. I think certain niggas deserve that type of time and respect. Like for real, like, and they of course they gotta have a more extensive discography. Like if you got less than 4 albums, you not what we talking about you for? But
no Biggie. Sorry, bro.
Biggie has a legend around him.
We can't talk about you. I had 2 albums.
Is Biggie on the same level as a Jay-Z? No, because he couldn't be able to. So yeah, it's a difference between an artist with 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 fucking albums that are consistently good than, somebody who unfortunately had that life cut short. And that's nobody's fault, but that's just what it is. Of course, I'm gonna consider Biggie a classic artist because that's just how I feel personally. But that's what I was saying. Like, I feel like it's a certain differentiation between me really fucking with Earl or really fucking with James Blake and them having such a impact that they really can be considered at least on a certain general level to just have a certain status. And I think both of those guys do. But yeah,
who are the 2 guys?
Huh?
Who are the 2 guys?
Earl and James Blake. I just said Earl and James Blake in the last example of a sentence. I was just saying, like, I think they both got classic discographies, even though, James Blake on his 4th project. I mean, he been around not his 4th project. He got a lot more music.
I feel like to somebody, these are old records will be classic records. I don't know if every record is a classic record.
No.
It could be Rose Tinted Glasses of like that was my youth. going on.
But I can't help that.
I do not think that...
Maybe I can acknowledge that, but I can't help that Earl caught me when I was 12 and 13 and 14 and 15.
This is...
and plus, he's just nice. Nobody can deny that.
I don't know if it's a concontroversial opinion. I just don't think Doris was a classic or anything. It was just so feature heavy.
You're on drugs, sir.
No, it was just so feature heavy. I mean, and it was good songs. I don't think it's a classic album. To be honest, I like the feel and flow of I Don't Like Shit. I Don't Go Outside even better than Doris.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe the feel of it, but this
all the features kind of made it feel like, you know,
solidified. Let me just leave that right there until the end of the episode.
Yeah, it's a good album, just not yet classic. To the Odd Future, you know.
Don't call me a fucking fan. I guess I am.
To the Odd Future fan base that is now a little bit older, you might think all that shit is classic. You might think the OF Tape Volume 2 is classic or something, but is it? I
wouldn't say that, but it is.
You might
really
say
good. It is really good. I would say Bastard is no.
You say it's a classic record?
No. I take that back.
I wouldn't say Bastard. I say Goblin was a classic. I liked
it's a Goblin.
Wolf.
Is Goblin classic, or is it just really? I guess that's what makes it classic. I was gonna say it's Goblin classic, or is it just really really trademark, really, you know what I'm saying, definitive Tyler type shit.
I feel like Goblin is like his Marshall Mathers LP.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Whereas Bastard is a Slim Shady one. It's a little bit rougher around the edges. And Goblin is where everything really came together on one album. As far as his sound then. I mean, he had to go on from there. Wolf, I feel like, was what was the word I want to use here? I'm just fumbling. It was even more of I think it was more of a refined version of what the Goblin sound was. It
was more matured, maybe. Refined, yeah, I guess that's the same thing.
I think it was refined more than it matured.
I think it
kind of was more of the same, but it was
like I'm not talking about like the lyrical content or anything, but just like the overall sonic. You know what I'm saying? Just overall musically, like.
Well, some of the beats were a little bit better to me on Wolf, whereas some of the synths and all that kind of stuff sound weak on Goblin.
Oh my God! What did you just say? I don't believe you. It's harder beats on Goblin for sure. It's better quality beats on.
That's all I'm saying.
Wolf.
That's all I'm saying.
It sounded like you just said
no. The beats on
Wolf were just better overall. Like,
no, the quality was worse. That's all I'm saying. You just admitted that the quality.
The quality
Wolf was better.
I mean mixing and engineering. I'm talking.
Then that's probably what it was. But the synths sometimes sound pretty cheap on Goblin.
No, the synths are. I love the Goblin synths. In my eyes, are like
that's that wonky ass Tyler sound,
bro.
That's probably trademark.
That's definitive.
But they sounded
like that. No, they wrong.
Like it could have been better.
I don't. Maybe I'm just overlooking the mix because the songs were just that good. But I don't think the mix was bad. I haven't listened to Goblin in a while. And
then you go from Wolf to Cherry Bomb. The mix is bad.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Like I think you fought for that,
especially at the level that you should have been at.
You fought for a while against that theory that I had that not even the theory, the fact that the mix is just bad.
I didn't. When you told me that, I was like, "What the fuck is it?" That's funny, right? I was like, what
yeah,
are you
I'm like,
about?
Dude, it sounds like
I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know what a mix is. Back when you told me that, that's what I said.
Well, I don't think I said it is mix. I was
no,
like,
you said the mix is just like everything is too loud and too quiet. I'm like, okay, I kind of get.
He's behind the music and it's weird because he's rapping. So why am I like? It just seems weird. And then you have the whole R&B.
The mixes were questionable.
And then I feel like he came around with Flower Boy and put together a good new style, the new, more mature sound that he wanted to go for. That he was trying to find on Cherry Bomb, that was eventually realized on Flower Boy. So, I think Tyler's in a good space, which is why I'm like, what is going on with Earl? I mean, I love the experimental fucking face blast, but goddamn it, your catalog's looking shaky.
Face blast.
Your catalog's starting to look shaky compared to
no, I don't
Tyler's.
I think he stands up pretty
I don't
solid.
know, man. His last album I was not feeling too much. It's not. It has zero replayability to me. To the most hardened Earl fans, they will love it probably, and they'd be like, "Yeah, we want more of this." But I don't know, man. I'm not going back to that album, and I don't foresee.
You came to me really disappointed.
Because I don't know what I thought, but it wasn't what I was looking for. I mean, some people love this experimental. I don't even want to say experimental because that makes it sound like it's bad, but this solace, but my whole career is gonna be, every song I put out is gonna be solace type of thing. Like, I'm just not, I can't get with it. It's nothing I can listen to for long term. And I get it. Artists change and do other things, and that's fine. But yeah,
you don't like it. That's what
I don't like it, but I like what Tyler was doing. I mean, Flower Boy was one of the best albums of last year.
We can save this for a whole Off Future talk. We about to go through like the Off Future fucking classic review and shit.
Yeah, we kind of went through Tyler's whole.
Yeah, we went through our whole basic feelings about Tyler.
I mean, like, there's more to say if you dedicate some time, but you know,
it's more to say. But I think we got across the gist pretty well. That's what we say every time we bring up, like every time we start comparing Tyler albums, like
Tyler and Earl.
Yeah, we got to bring up Earl if we're talking about Tyler.
I mean, Frank Ocean put out some pretty big records.
Frank, I didn't think you want to talk about Frank because you're not an R&B nigga.
No, I'm not, but I know he had some good songs on the albums previously to the one I listened to, which was Blonde.
You didn't like Blonde?
No, I did.
Okay, that's good. I remember I just heard fucking Joe Budden saying he didn't like Blonde because it was just not like enough drums and it wasn't the best well executed.
Yeah, let's hear Joe Budden's R&B album.
Yeah, like get the fuck out of here. Like
his simp songs.
I think it's just maybe a little bit too heady.
Shorty saying "fuck me again." So she called me 9 months later and want to fuck me again.
Bro, you gotta stop bringing up Joe Budden music when I start talking about his opinion on records.
Why not?
Because it don't fucking matter. He don't make.
I'm using it as an argument to say that he made whack records, so therefore his opinion is invalid. So I guess that is a bad argument. Sorry, I'm sorry, Joe.
Please stop. You've disrespected my nigga enough.
No, Joe disrespected us with that mic that we heard on Music 3. What happened
there?
Disrespectful. How did Music 2 have a better mic than 3?
He was in the rough place.
What happened there?
The mixes was rough because he was rough, nigga.
I suppose.
Maybe that's the same with Earl. The mixes are non-existent, basically. I mean, I guess it was a mix, but it was a weird mix.
Experimental boner, dude. I'm so fucking horny for random fuzz in the background.
I like that, yeah.
Me rapping over fuzz. Alright. Sorry. I'm getting a little bit too...
Yeah, we were supposed to stop like fucking 3 minutes ago. Or has it 3 minutes ago, like fucking 10 minutes ago or some shit?
I don't hate Earl. I just dislike... it's like New M. When people have gripes with New Eminem.
No!
The style changed, and it's just like, you know, it's the style change and it's hit or miss with certain areas.
No. I won't accept that analogy.
All right, goodbye, everybody. We're gonna leave on that note.
Oh no, fucking hot take.
We're gonna leave on that note.
We done. Another random talk. We done.